Hi, Bishop Peter.
G'day, Mark.
Welcome to another Faith Questions with Bishop Peter.
Thank you.
And this time it's not so much a faith question, but a ministry approach. I want to talk about demographic profiles, community demographic profiles. That can be a really useful tool for parishes. Tell us about, in your view, why that might be important.
We've got to know our district well if our plan is to be relevant and meaningful in that particular context. And sometimes we'll know that pretty well without doing a survey, but I do worry that in some parishes we might say something, for example, like, oh well, you know, there are no children around here. And demographic profile survey might open up the question, oh, actually there are quite a few children and young adults who've moved in. They just sort of live in streets that the rest of us are not living in, but they are near at hand. But conversely, and again, thinking about how some of our congregations, many of our congregations, to be honest, are older people, it may also be that when we bewail the lack of children in our congregation, a demographic profile survey will help us to recognise, oh, actually in our district there are quite a few elderly people, and so maybe that's why we're the way we are, and also the people on whom we should be concentrating as we seek to work out our missional action plan. But there are often hidden aspects to our demography, aren't there? There are migrants we haven't really noticed who've come into our community. So there may be questions about a changing ethnic profile to the demography of our district or suburb.
That's a great point, because St Peter's Upper Riccarton recently commissioned a community demographic profile, and that's exactly what they found out, that the ethnic composition of the sort of Upper Riccarton area has actually changed quite significantly in the last 5 or 10 years. And also, I was talking to the Vicar of Woolston, Kirsty McDonald, just last week, and she talked about the gentrification of Woolston, which I thought was interesting.
I personally know some young adults who've moved into Woolston in recent months and years. And that the profile of that district is changing in a way that we might not have expected if we were living in Woolston, I don't know, 15 years ago.
So we've got to find out, you know, to listen carefully to the community, find out about the community. I totally agree with that. How can we go about doing that? I know there are some resources and tools out there. We could go to the Stats website, for example, Stats New Zealand.
You can certainly do your own research via the Stats New Zealand website, but it may take a bit to dig into that. Some of us are more expert than others. We paid more attention to geography at school or whatever. But there's an Otago academic church researcher, Lynn Taylor, and I think you've got her contact number, haven't you?
I do, indeed.
And I would really recommend people looking to do some kind of profile, work with Lynn via you introducing them to her. And I believe she's helped some of our parishes already. And
absolutely.
They've really appreciated that.
6 or 7 parishes have accessed that information. And it's not expensive, $100 plus GST. And Lynn is quite quick at turnaround. So within a couple of weeks, you can get that information. Thank you so much. Another helpful tool in our missional toolkit.
Exactly. Wonderful.
Thank you, Bishop Peter. God bless.